know for myself, I never talked about it because I never had the language, and I didn't know it was a thing. Like I said, I just thought that um, I was nervous and I was jumpy. My grandma would call me jumpy, and I didn't know that like my anxiety and me being a person who has social anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder was a thing. I just thought I was jumpy, and she would always we'd be in supermarkets like, why you gotta rearrange that? You always gotta touch something. You touchy. And I'm like, okay. So I it was a matter of not having the language for me. Um, and I do think in some circles it's about vulnerability and not because vulnerability is seen as weakness, and that's both because of just how Black people have been socialized historically, but it's also because of capitalism. The mindset of I can't stop, I gotta keep grinding. That's a survival mindset. And if Black people ain't anything else, we are survivors. And I think that we should be allowed to like live and love throughout that. But for us, like our love is so coded around survival, um, to the point where when we say things like, "Oh, I can't stop and take care of myself. I gotta keep grinding," like to somebody else, that if you really think about it, like that's really unhealthy. But you have to live and you have to survive because this society won't let you if you don't stop grinding. And most of the time when Black people say like I got to keep grinding, it's because they're taking care of somebody else. Because Black people, and I'm gonna say specifically Black women, our love language is sacrifice. Like I believe that you're taught to love by the person who has loved you the best and the person who has loved you the worst, and both of those people have loved me through sacrifice and nothing else. So you have parents in Black communities, and this is like across the diaspora. You have African parents and West Indian parents, Caribbean parents, and like Black and America parents who don't say "I love you" to their kids, and they don't hug their kids because they don't have the time. They don't take that time, but they love those kids, and the way that they show it is, "I love you because I'm always at work," you know. "I love you. I'm always mad and I'm stressed out because I'm at work because I love you and I want you to eat." Because we can't eat in this society unless I work. So I don't have the time to give you this affection, but you should know that this affection is love. And we sort of like learn neglect as love, and we learn these things as love, and we learn grinding as love. And grinding is sort of like a righteous thing when really we're depriving ourselves of affection.
I feel like people don't talk about, well, mental health in general because it's a scary thing. Like, you don't want to be labeled as like this crazy person or just someone that's like too much, undesirable, you don't want to be around, like whatever you want to call it. But I feel as though why it's not talked about in the Black community, one, because like you don't want this other label. Like, you don't want this other problem. Like, oh, you're already Black. But like for me, it's like, oh, you're already a woman. Like, and just getting into other stuff, like you're like you might be mm, I don't know. Well, yeah, I was thinking about myself, but this is not about me anymore. But for people that are like not, that don't identify as straight, or they're not cisgender, like these are just all other things. It's like you can address the physical things, the things that people can see that they want to fix about you, but like you don't want to talk about what's going on up there that like kind of is what's going on up here is like projecting what's going on out here, and like you don't want to talk about that.
I think we feel I think there's a stigma around taking steps towards healing because it inevitably, accepts the fact that there's weakness, right? Like if you're talking about, yo, I gotta go fix this thing, it's like ain't nothing wrong with you. You know what I mean? And I think that it just comes from that. It's like if you know that there's room for growth, you know that you're not everything you could be. And I think it's really difficult for us as people who, like I mentioned before, always have to go above and beyond. It's like we have to like understand it just is what it is. We're gonna fucking do twice the work to get half the credit, and it's like to have that in the back of your mind, but then also to realize, oh shit, maybe I'm not where I need to be right now. That's just a lot to deal with. I think like pressure, man, to be a Black man in America, especially one with talent and some intellect. Like there's fucking pressure associated with that. Like, I'm the first, male in my family to ever go to college. Like, I'm the only entrepreneur, like, or established entrepreneur in my family. Like, there are things that I'm doing like that are for me, but like really they're not, and I'm sure you know what I mean. Like, and I don't say that as like woe is me, oh, I have all these responsibilities. Like, no, like I really put that on my back and I appreciate that responsibility, but that shit gets hard and you never want to be the one to, stop short of the goal and become a bad example for your younger ones, or stop short of the goal and almost be like a slap in the face to our parents and our grandparents who have done twice and three times the work to get us where we are to start here. So to just take those moments and just like share that vulnerability with the people around you, like it takes a lot to understand that that's actually a strengthening moment and not a weakening one. And I've just like been learning that for my damn self. Like, to be super honest, like I'm even at this point where like I've realized how much or how little vulnerability I've even wanted to share with my girlfriend because of how I think she'll think about me. You know what I mean? And like it's just out of in my opinion, out of a love for her and how I always want to be such a great example, and a great leader for our relationship, or to show her that I'm even just a great leader for myself and I'm figuring this shit out. But I'm understanding how damaging that is. You know what I mean? To keep that mask on, to never like just take it off. So it just all comes out of stress and pressure. But that's something that we really got to just face if we're ever gonna have a hope